Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing a dogfight between me and JG7 Irwin. So first things first, after the merge here, I try and keep my energy high. So I'm banking right at about 60 degrees. That's the second notch on the ADI. And I'm keeping about 2 Gs. I'm pulling about 2.1, 2.2 Gs right now. So right here I'm at 160 miles per hour, and that's my maximum turn rate. So I start trying to pull even harder, maybe even dip the nose a little bit. And I start pulling up even more here. And I know he's close to stalling because I'm close to stalling and I had more energy than him. So you can see the aspect increasing there. His nose is dropping. And so I start to drop my nose as well. You see I'm pulling pretty hard here, 4 Gs. So right now I have the energy advantage, and as long as I don't drop my nose super hard, I can keep this energy advantage. Notice I'm keeping the ball very centered. This whole fight I've kept the ball super centered. Okay, so I'm slowly winning this rate fight. I'm pulling a little bit of flaps, about 10 degrees. Just trying to reel him in slowly. You see here, I'm trying to keep my altitude as well. I'm not trying to drop too much. And then I start pulling up again. So I just keep doing this series of increasing my altitude, lowering my speed, getting a really tight turn rate, and then dropping my nose and kind of making an offset 2 circle in a way, or at least trying to. Irwin does a good job of countering it every time I do that. Again, I'm just keeping the ball centered. And we're going to start to increase altitude here pretty drastically. I think now is when I'm like, okay, now is when I'm like, okay, I've got enough distance to where I can start pulling up into the vertical and he won't be able to follow me. So I pull 2 Gs and I go straight up into the vertical. Keep an eye on him, and I'm at 100 miles per hour right now and he's stalling, so this is perfect. Also notice I have my radiators on auto right now, and both the oil radiator and the coolant radiator is open. So for those of you that like to open your radiators in fights, don't do that. Auto radiator will keep everything just as it needs to be. And then here I get some shots on him. Nothing crazy. I don't really do any damage at all. But it kind of lets him know that, you know, he's losing the fight. But yeah, back to the radiators thing. Just keep your radiators on auto, because if you open your radiators in a fight, all that's going to do is it's going to have them be open in situations where they really should be closed, and you should just be super slick and gaining that extra aerodynamic efficiency that you'll have by having your radiators more closed. So yeah, just leave everything in auto, don't touch it in a fight. And so yeah, here I'm extending away after getting shots on him. He's behind me. He can't catch me right now. I start climbing. This is a little bit of a mistake. I should have probably started jinking earlier. As you can see here, he's about to get shots on me, and yeah, they actually hit me, but it looks like they just bounce off due to the angle that they hit me at, and I didn't even notice it at the time. But yeah, I take him back into a vertical fight here. I'm going 130 miles per hour, really slow, just trying to eke out as much climb rate as I can, and I drop the nose again and try and keep it at around 180 miles per hour in the rate fight. That's where my turn rate is, you know, pretty much the best it can be, especially at this weight. I think the best turn rate is 165, but that might be dry with no fuel. Okay, so I'm just repeating the same thing, increasing my altitude, trading my altitude for airspeed, increasing my turn rate, pulling flaps a little bit, and there's nothing he can do. This is okay. Here he tries to use all of his energy, cashes in all of his energy, and pulls straight up into the vertical to try and get a shot on me. I noticed that, and I just begin to do a slight increase in altitude because I know I don't need to go crazy with the climb rate. And at this point, if he were to have continued the fight, it would not have gone too well for him, because right now he's only slightly below me, but his speed is suffering pretty bad, and I'm just slowly reeling him in. So here he kind of disengages the fight. What he's doing right now is he's dipping his nose to try and get enough airspeed to where he can pull up and get shots on me. That's what he's trying to do. But if he doesn't hit any shots on me, it's pointless, because all he's doing right now is depleting his energy. And he kind of realizes that at this point, there's no winning this fight for him, and he dives away and heads back to base. And I watched the rest of this replay. He ends up landing, and there's only minor damage to his aircraft. But yeah, that's basically how a dogfight goes between a 109 and a P-51 when the P-51 starts off with an energy advantage. It's just a long, drawn-out fight that's honestly kind of pointless. Now, there are parts here where instead of diving on him, I could have just climbed away. So like that point where I made him stall out and then I turned in on him and got shots on him. Instead of turning on him after I made him stall out, what I could have done is just continued to climb away, and pretty much he can try and follow me or he can disengage, and at that point he's like, well, what do I do now? He's just climbing away, and I can kind of keep my eye on him and wait for the right opportunity to like dive back down on him. So maybe I might try that next time, especially if the server's more full, because you know he could be calling for backup this whole time. But yeah, try and avoid dogfights like that against 109s, because as you can see, they're just long, drawn out fights. They're just you two just flying in circles, very slow speeds, very vulnerable, and it doesn't really achieve much in the end. So yeah, I try and avoid them. Anyways, that's all. I just wanted to show you guys that dogfight. See you next time. Peace.